In attractive, shady surroundings, they give visitors who are otherwise car-bound an opportunity to get out and move around, make a cup of tea, and even cook breakfast on the gas stoves provided. Make contact with some of the park's smaller residents. But others enjoy these picnic spots too, and snoop around for a tasty morsel. The bushbuck might be a bit slow on the take, but the birds are much better equipped for grabbing the grub. Many birds, particularly glossy starlings, endearing, cheeky birds, and probably the most numerous ones in Kruger, certainly at picnic spots. If the glossy starling is Kruger's most common bird, then certainly the impala is the most common mammal, and often seen with the impala is the red-billed oxpecker. There are some 150,000 of these graceful impala in the park. The rams are extremely noisy during the rutting season in autumn. They snort, grunt, and growl. The alpha ram has to fight for dominance in the herd. Great endurance and great vision is needed. The victorious ram will gather a harem of up to 50 ewes, over which he will guard jealously for one season. He is in peak condition now, but by the end of the rutting season, he will be a mere shadow of his former self. Great vision was also needed to add another vital component to this new national park. Game rangers, men like Harry Volater, who in 1904 had to fight off an attacking lion with just his hunting knife. Harry survived. The lion didn't. Today's rangers need dedicated vision to ensure the survival of the African lion and other species. It is often very scientific work. The latest technology is used to ensure good management in Kruger. Today's rifle is more likely to be a dart gun used to bring down jumbo so that more research can be done. And it is often on such research that the future survival of a species depends. For most visitors, the biggest thrill in Kruger is the big three: the cats, lion, leopard, and cheetah. This is a rare occasion, a special treat. Cheetahs up a tree. Cheetahs are not really creatures of the trees, although they favor high points as lookouts to exercise their exceptional vision. These two seem to be quite good tree climbers. But the object is not hunting this time. They are simply fooling around. They are playing a little game of hide and seek. Cheetahs are timid creatures, not nearly as aggressive as their bigger cousin, the leopard, the most elusive, the most secretive, and arguably the most beautiful big cat of Africa. The king of the savannah, the lion, the greatest of Africa's cats. An adult male can stand 1,2 meters at the shoulder and weigh over 250 kilograms. In fact, Kruger's lions are some of the most magnificent in Africa. They are great family animals and live in prides of up to 30 members. They relax together and they hunt together. There is tension in the herds. The lions are on the prowl. Waterholes are the favorite killing grounds for lions. and the herds always sense it. The lionesses make most of the actual kills, and she will get this wildebeest into a clearing and wait for the others to join her. But where there are predators, the scavengers are never far behind. Vultures are an integral and vital part of the food chain, as indeed are the other scavengers, such as the spotted hyena, a strong and clever competitor, not only as a scavenger, but also as a hunter. And there are others too who want to share in the spoils, such as the black-backed jackal. Moving further north, Satara is on the plains in the central section of the park. This is the second largest camp after Skukuza, and is a welcome oasis of indigenous shade trees, which include marula, knobthorn, and leadwood. An oasis for both human visitors and others. Be on your guard. There is fierce competition for your breakfast. The grassy plains of Satara are good for viewing the game species that enjoy this habitat. Large herds of buffalo and the predators that follow them also occur here. There are prides of lions which specialize in hunting buffalo. It's all part of life and death on the savannah. And like the cycles of life and death, there are also cycles of wet and dry. Indeed, the season of the wet is the beginning of the season of new life. The rain will bring relief to the parched earth and animals alike, injecting and inspiring new energy into the cycle of life. Of course, not everyone appreciates the rain, and some need a little sheltering, a little comforting. But the plant life will be revived and send out new shoots, and the animals will regenerate themselves. The drab winter felt begins to change. The long-tailed cassia is the first to burst into a shower of yellow blooms. Other trees follow, coloring the landscape in a riot of hues. Bulbs and shrubs add to the splendor. For the impala ewes, the waiting is over. It is lambing season, the time of the wet-eyed fawns. The rains have ensured that enough grazing is available for all the additional members of the herd. Although all they really want at first is mother's milk. After the first rain showers, nursery herds are seen all over the park. To get the most out of Kruger, it is not always necessary to just keep driving, clocking up kilometers. Spend some time at a waterhole, especially in the dry season. It could be very rewarding. Brown-headed parrots are not often seen in the open. The waterhole can provide a veritable parade of species. All you have to do is wait for them to arrive. Most animals need a drink, but they have to be extremely cautious when they come down to the water. Mud hollows form when the sun's harsh rays begin to suck the waterholes dry. These mud wallows offer an excellent opportunity to get rid of itchy parasites in difficult spots. Even the thick-skinned elephant can also have an awkward itch, difficult to reach. Things are not always what they seem in nature. This might look like a lover's embrace, but more likely it is a territorial dispute being settled to determine who is boss of the waterhole. The thirsty nursery herd of kudu pays little attention to this confrontation. All they are interested in is a drink, secure in the company of the adults of the herd. Another day in Africa draws to a close, transforming the waterhole into a shimmering wonderland of colors and reflections. Olifants Camp, almost exactly in the center of the park, has the finest views of any camp in Kruger. Built on top of a cliff above the Olifants River, the camp looks out over the meandering river, across the rolling plains of the eastern side of the park, to the mountains and beyond to Mozambique. Patience, a good pair of binoculars, and good vision are all you need at Olifants. It was another vision of the people who created Kruger over the years, that visitors should be able to get right down to basics, to get out there and walk. Wilderness trails were established to make the vision a reality. If you have a little more time or a greater interest in the bush itself, these trails offer you the chance to get out there with a ranger and experience the park on the ground, to learn about the smaller things, the trees and the flowers. Of course, there are bigger things out here too. A rhino midden, which means somewhere out there in the bush is a free-roaming rhino bull. Where can he be? Right in front? Or is he behind you? Suddenly he's there, bigger and more armor-plated than you ever imagined. This is the time when, behind the man with the rifle, is a good place to be. The trails have become a very popular feature of Kruger National Park. They go through some of the finest wilderness areas of the park, giving hikers the chance to get the true feel of wild Africa. This particular one is along the Olifants River. This is the ultimate way to experience the wild. to make really close contact with the creatures which inhabit it, and to get that special feeling, that emotion that comes from exposure to wilderness. Dawn in camp means making plans for the day ahead, where to walk, what to look for. It has its rewards and its anxieties. Encountering a lion while on foot gives you a rush of adrenaline you probably won't ever feel again. A realization of how insignificant and vulnerable you are in the wide open spaces of Africa. Your senses tell you to run, but your legs won't obey. They have suddenly turned into jelly. Never run or make sudden movements, warns the ranger. It could cost you your life. Just stand still or back off slowly. But this is what it's all about. Just you and the wilderness. Still in the central section of the park is Letaba, a halfway house for those traveling the full length of Kruger. Time to relax a little here, do a little shopping, and enjoy the traditional Ndebele wall decorations. The Goldfields Environmental Education Center, which includes the Elephant Hall of Fame, is also here at Letaba. Here you can view the actual tusks of the renowned Magnificent Seven, that group of old bulls whose display of ivory made them world famous. Here are Zombo, Jao, Kambaku, Mafunyane, and Lulamiti, Shawu, and Shingwedzi, and their stories, and the story of their kind. The elephant is an extraordinary creature in every respect. The largest land-dwelling mammal, the African elephant weighs in at up to 6 tons, and yet this gentle giant has no natural enemies, only disease and man. It will graze and browse nearly 1/4 ton of vegetation a day. It likes to drink every day, and at a single session can take in up to 220 liters of water. They love water, and given the opportunity will spend hours in it, and they are excellent swimmers too. That trunk contains around 60,000 muscles, and it can kill an attacker or pick up a matchstick. Elephants are wonderfully sociable animals and excellent parents. The entire herd